We are live at Dunn Field. Pregame festivities just wrapping up. Pioneers baseball right after this. And we are live at Dunn Field. I'm Taylor Storthy, and welcome to Pios Baseball. The national anthem is wrapped up, and we are just about ready to play ball in just a few minutes. The Elmira Pioneers take on the Niagara Power. These two teams have faced before, and it was earlier in the season when the Power won 10-4. Hole Faker on the mound was the winning pitcher, while Kevin Serrano took the loss for the Pios. They're looking for some revenge tonight back at Dunn Field. This time, the Pios enter the game on a 2-game winning streak, while the Niagara Power are just coming off a close 8-7 loss. And here we go with the first pitch. And with the first pitch complete, it's time to play ball. Tristian Ciampa warming up. He's pitched in 3 innings this season and hasn't surrendered a single run. His most recent performance came against the Oneonta Outlaws, where he recorded the save for the first ever Pioneer victory this season. Win number 1 was on the road, but last night the Pios got win number 2 against the Newark Pilots. Braden Coletta's 6 innings gave him the win, while Chris Jackson took the loss for the Pilots. Ciampa's finishing his warm-ups as we will get ready to go. First, let's tell you the lineup in order for the Niagara Power. Carl leads off, followed by Eels, Ujima, Coleman, Simmons, Lobliner, Zimian, Montanez, and Colbert. Lobliner had a huge game the last time he was at Dunn Field, where he was a key part of the Power victory. He'll be one to watch for tonight as he bats in the 6th spot. But leading off is Carl. For the season, Carl's had the most at-bats for the Power with 26. He's currently hitting .308 with 5 RBIs, and he also has 3 walks. Notably as well, he has 2 triples. With the slightly larger outfield here at Dunn Field, he might be able to try to get another. Ciampa gets ahead, strike 1. That one fouled away. Ciampa now ahead 0-2. Here's how the defense lines up. Up for the Pioneers. The battery is formed by Ciampa and Lucas Berube. And with that, Ciampa gets his first strikeout of the game. The infield consists of Shader at third, Olsovsky at short, Phelps at second, and Wayman at first. Odom playing left field, Cooper Smith in center, Ethan Herrera in right. And another strike. That's 4 straight strikes here from Ciampa to open the game. That one fouled away, so just like that first at-bat, Ciampa ahead 0-2 after a taken strike and foul ball. Already one away, needs one more pitch to retire Eels. And Eels has been by far the best hitter, as he now takes ball 1. Eels, in 23 at-bats, has 12 hits and 6 RBIs, leading the team with a .522 average and tied for the most RBIs. That one outside, ball 2. Now the 2-2 from Ciampa. That one sent deep, but in left field making the catch is Odom. That's going to bring up Ujima with 2 outs. Ujima's had 12 at-bats this season, is only batting .167. But he's also been able to draw 3 walks. Not the best start for him, though. He's now down 0-1 in the count. Ciampa looking to try to get a 1-2-3 inning for your Pioneers. That one's fouled away. And Ciampa doing a great job of getting early strikes. It's an 0-2 count now. One more will get him out of the inning. That one fouled away. Ujima staying alive. The 0-2 now. That one also fouled away, so Ujima staying alive here with 2 away. Top of the first. Chance for Ciampa to keep it clean. Ball 1 just a little bit inside. Pretty excited Pios crowd cheering Ciampa on. Ball 2 just a little outside. A good framing attempt from Berube, but he wasn't able to. Two. That one's going to be sent to left field for a base hit. Ujima gets aboard with 2 away. That's the first hit of the ball game for either team, of course, being in the top of the first. And that will bring up Coleman. Count goes 0-1 to Coleman. Interesting note for Coleman, hitting .154 for the season, also with only 2 hits. Berube was back on that one. Counts 1-1. The 1-1 from Ciampa. That goes to 1-2. Got him with the pitch inside the zone on that inside corner. 1-2 count with 2 away. Low, ball 2. Outside, ball 3. Full count here to Coleman. Ciampa had a first quick batters, but after Jima got on base, a long count here. That'll certainly not help his pitch count. Runner goes, and that is ball 4 on a close pitch. Two aboard with 2 away for Simmons. Runner in scoring position. Ball 1, first time. Ciampa has fallen behind on that first pitch. The 1-0. And that one just a little bit inside, ball 2. And I think you can see Berube just trying to make sure Ciampa remains calm and continues to throw those strikes. Stressful at bat, 2 away, 2 aboard. Power already have been shown to score quite a bit of offense. They did so the last time they were at Dunn Field, winning 10-4. Strike 1. That one's going to be flared out to right. But right there is Ethan Herrera to get the final out of the inning. 2 get aboard. But both end up being stranded on no runs, 1 hit, no errors to end the inning. Top of the first has concluded. We'll be back right after this. And we are back at Dunn Field. Here's your lineup for your Elmira Pioneers. Leading off, Joel Osofsky, followed by Ethan Herrera and Bobby Marsh. Wayman's up next, followed by Smith, Shader, Berube, Murad, Phelps, Odom, and, after pitching a clean first inning, on the mound, Tristian Ciampa. Final warm-up pitches from Muse, who's the starter tonight for the Niagara Power. This season, Muse has had a couple relief appearances. Pitching 2 2/3. Fun fact, he hasn't had a strikeout in that period. To wonder whether the BABIP luck will be on his side or with the Pioneers. Olszewski leads off. Entering this game, Olszewski, 4 hits and 22 at-bats, one of them being a double, but importantly, 3 runs batted in, while he's also gone on base with 7 free passes, 5 walks, 2 hit by pitches. He's also a ground ball hitter, has had 2 double plays this season. No shot for a double play here. Coach Romo wanted to get aboard and get things rolling for the Pioneers this inning. Sizable crowd again here at Dunn Field, ready to cheer on the Pioneers. It's Olszewski again leading off. And strike one. Outside, ball one. Good take there from Olszewski to not go down 0-2 in the count. Looking to get ahead here. Fouled away. Count goes 1-2. Pioneers wearing the gray again. It's been their home jersey all season, while the Niagara Power wear a blue. Relatively light blue, closer to maybe a tealish blue on the road. That one popped up. Should be out number 1. It is. Carl makes the catch in center field. And with that one away in the bottom of the first inning for your Pioneers. It's the night at Dunn Field. It's Chemung Canal Trust and Duncan night. Thank you to those sponsors. Tuesday, June 14th, when the Pios return home. To face Mansfield, it is free Hilliard Thundersticks night. So you might hear some Thundersticks that night. And be sure, of course, to stop by if you're in the area. Fun time for all. 1-0 with one away. That one's going to be grounded over to third. Colbert makes the play, and a close play, but Simeon comes up with the ball. 2 away. Herrera got a barrel to that, but put it on the ground. Just couldn't get it past the infield. That's going to bring up Pioneer veteran and future Nittany Lion, Bobby Marsh. Marsh was absent in the previous victory against the Oneonta Outlaws, but last night took the first pitch deep right field, only hitting off that back wall back onto play for a stand-up double. It was mere inches away from being the first home run for the Pioneers this season. And a fun fact as well, the Pioneers not only haven't gotten a home run, they haven't conceded one either. So strong stuff from the pitching, not as strong stuff from the hitting in that category, but still waiting for that first one right now. Marsh was looking to get it, swing and a miss, strike one. For the season, Bobby Marsh, 4 hits on 19 at-bats. He's got a double, a triple, alongside 2 RBIs, but 4 walks. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Marsh's lower RBI count to start off, I think, mainly comes from lower opportunities to get those RBIs, and it has been a little bit harder for the Pioneers to generate a little bit of offense early on. 1-2. Marsh going to send that one deep to center field. Will that get behind Carl? No, it won't. Tracks all the way back near the warning track that can get quite muddy sometimes to get the final out of the inning. The Pioneers go down in order. It remains tied. Nothing apiece. We'll be back with more Pios baseball after this. Welcome back to Dunn Field. Before play resumes, we've got a little eating race between the clubhouse manager, Ben Efros, and Andres Wolfacker. And Ben retains as the first loss Wolfacker takes here at historic Dunn Stadium. Wolfacker was the starting pitcher in the previous game where he had a strong performance to get the power of the victory, but here takes a loss in the eating competition. Ben Efros maintains his belt. They're having eating some donuts as we now get underway with the top of the second inning. Congrats to Ben, helping the Pioneers get a little revenge against the pitcher that vanquished the Pioneers last time. 1-0. And 2-0. Ciampa getting behind his first batter, which is Lobliner. Lobliner had a huge day previously, including some bases clearing hits. The count goes 2-1 now. We're 3-0. And we hear some complaints over from Drum and the bench. It was a late call, kind of hard to tell. All umpires have different styles. This time it's strike one on that outside corner. That one's going to be driven to right field, but Ethan Herrera calmly under that one away. Zimian comes up with bases empty and one away. Quiet start to the game for both teams. Pioneers went down in order, while just one runner came aboard following a walk. Ciampa ready to go. Outside, ball 1. And, ooh, that one just, I think, a little bit outside, ball 2. Ciampa with the 2-0. 3-0. And ball 4. I think that was just a tad bit high. Close call. Zimian gets on. Montanez now up with 1 on and 1 out. For the season, Montanez hitting .308, 4 for 13. And strike 1 on that high inside corner. Strike 2. That time breaking into the zone. Ciampa ahead. Crowd was excited with that 0-2, but it's low for ball 1. One, 2. Tipped away, foul, staying alive. One, 2 from Ciampa. Pickoff attempt just a second late. Zimian gets back in time. He's the man on first alongside Wayman. Montanez down 1-2. And the designator hitter goes down looking, 2 away. Thank you to C-Tran, this inning's sponsor. C-Tran provides accessible travel for all. Visit chemungtransit.org to learn more. That one flared foul. Indeed, ridectran.com, they're this inning's sponsor. Zimian on first. Colbert at the plate. 2 away. Runner goes. The throw not going to be in time. In fact, Olsovsky didn't even get that throw. The ball landed right behind him. Zimian gets a stolen base. And now, with the 1-1 count, there's a runner on second. Still 2 away. 2 more strikes needed for Ciampa to get out of the jam. Count goes 2-1. Two and one count here. Still a runner in scoring position. That one's strike 2 just on that inside corner. 1 strike away from a second clean inning. Runner goes. And ultimately decides not to make that throw. A risky steal from Simeon. But ultimately, Berube just didn't have a good enough hold on it. So he didn't risk the throw. An errant throw to Shader would have brought that run home more likely than not. 3-2 with 2 away. Go ahead run. Now on third. And ball 4 just inside. Runners at the corners. Carl is the top of the order. Steps back up. Two on with 2 outs. Runner off first. And just a little low. Free bases have been a thing that have plagued the Pioneers. And tonight, no different. 3 walks surrendered so far. But Ciampa now just 1 out away from getting out of a little bases jam. 1-1. 2 on. 2 away. Still a tied ball game. You're in the top of the second. That one's going to be grounded. Olsovsky picks it up and tosses it to Phelps to retire the side. And with that, the inning is over. No runs on no hits with no errors. 2 stranded. We'll be back with the bottom of the second inning right after this. We are back with the bottom of the second inning. This half-inning sponsor is Multimedia Services. If you had our program, if you see that signage, you know that Multimedia Services handle all of our printing needs, and they can help you too. In fact, those little schedules that you may have picked up, also printed by Multimedia Services. Thanks again. Here's the first pitch of the inning. Wayman rips that down the line. Foul. Wayman was absent for the start of the season with the Pioneers. Recently has broken into the lineup in a big way. So far, he's 1 for 6. That one's outside, ball 1. One for Wayman. Wayman rips that one down the line. This time it stays fair, likely for extra bases. It gets to the wall. Wayman rounding first, heading for second. The throw will come in. Wayman with a stand-up double to lead off the inning for your Pioneers. Joe Muzio absent from the lineup tonight. However, Cooper Smith now batting at the 5th spot. Get a chance here with a runner in scoring position. No one out. I wonder if they might have Cooper Smith just drop a sacrifice bunt and see if he can move that runner. He does. That one goes foul, strike 1. We've seen Cooper Smith get on base with a sacrifice bunt before. I have a feeling Coach Drum likes it and will want to do it again. Might switch things up with a 0-1 count. Wonder how Muse will pitch, thinking that Smith will go for that bunt. And definitely more of a drag bunt there, pulling it out late. That one high, ball 1. Wayman on second, Smith at the plate, Shader, Berube, and Murad on deck for the next 3. Also a little bit high, 2-1. That hit was the first base runner the Pioneers have gotten all night. Muse ready to go from the stretch. Fouled away, 2-2. .68 degrees here in Elmira. And coming in tomorrow, expected to rain a little bit. A particularly wet day coming up, 3-2. That one hit out to the left, but foul. Smith staying alive on a full count. Still the 3-2, no one out, and a runner on second. Shader on deck, but for now, it's up to Cooper Smith. See what he can do for the Pios offense. And that one tipped foul again. Stays full. Smith for the season, hitting 33%, 6 for 18, and the best hitter of someone with so many hits, or at-bats. That one foul again. That time off the wall, deep in left field. But again, foul. Remember, Moose, no strikeouts this season. Could have his first one right here. Smith might try to get another RBI. Fouled away. For the season, Smith 2 RBIs. He's also had 3 free bases, 1 walk and 2 hit by pitches. Lengthy 3-2 at bat. That one popped up, and that'll be a souvenir for the roof. A very long at bat, driving up Muse's pitch count. Three-two. And that one hit his helmet. Ooh. Cooper Smith gets aboard after a long at bat. He's all good. There's now 2 runners on and no one out. And you could see that just bounces off his helmet. He shrugs it off and gets to first base. No one out. And there is a meeting on the mound. And likely just to try to settle Muse down after a shaky start to the second inning. His pitch count also driven up after that long at-bat from Cooper Smith. Shader up here. 2 on. He might want to just drop a sacrifice bunt and get the runners in a better position. He tried right there. I think that's going to be ball 1. Smith and Wayman aboard. That one very far inside. 2-0. Jader was still looking for that sacrifice bunt. Goal on the play just to try to get Wayman to third and potentially get Smith to second. That time, strike 1. Good take from Shader. The infield a little bit further in. Two and two now. Shader trying to stay up. Runner goes to third. The throw in time, but the tag not in time. Wayman is safe. 3-2 count. Risky stolen base attempt, but it works out. The slide just beating the tag on a very close play. 3-2 now, Logan Shader. I have a feeling we're now going to see Cooper Smith run from first. Smith goes, swing and a miss, throw to second. Wayman gonna go home, and they are distracted in the infield. Even though Smith will be out after that strikeout, the Pioneers will take a 1-0 lead. The pickle on the base path worked as a distraction. And the Pioneers get the first run home. Ruby comes up with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. The Pios leading 1-0. That one driven deep to left field. It is foul, just barely. Berube 1 for 6 on the season. That only hit brought home an RBI, and that was back against the Outlaws for the Pios' first win. We see two catchers in the lineup tonight. Gil Murad hitting as an extra hitter. The 0-1. Just outside, ball one. Pioneers already got one run home. They lead 2 away, bases empty. 2-1. 2-1 here to Lucas Berube. Fouled. 2-2 count now. A little bit high. Full count now for Berube. On deck, Gil Murad. But 2 away for the Pioneers catcher. That one popped up. Should be out of play. That's another souvenir for the roof. A very long inning for Muse. And it looks like this could be his 28th pitch of the inning coming up here. Very long inning indeed. And strike three, and it finally ends with Berube going down looking. But the Pioneers get the damage done. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. No one left aboard. More Pioneers baseball right after this. Pios leads off in the top of the third inning. We are back at Dunn Field. That one's going to be driven deep left field. Odom gets under it for the first out of the inning. And with that, Pios flies out again to left field. One away immediately. This inning sponsors Papa John's. We serve Papa John's here at Dunn Field, as that one is a bloop single to right field. Ujima, who has the only hit for the Power, gets another hit this time around. But again, Papa John's, always a consistently good pizza, proud sponsor for your Pioneers, and whenever you visit Dunn Field, you can always get yourself a slice from the concession stand. One away, runner on. Only 2 pitches to get this situation. Simmons is now aboard. Strike one. Oh, 1 to Simmons. Pickoff attempt. Tajima is safe. There was a shaky second inning, but Ciampa able to focus and get out of the jam. Now might need to work himself out of a little jam right here. With only 1 on and 1 out. That one's going to be grounded, but foul. Count goes 0-2. Pioneers were able to get their 1-run home as they hold a slim lead over the Power. Still a lot of baseball yet to be played, though. Ball 1. Important thing is, of course, Ciampa's pitch count has been relatively manageable. Not the lowest possible, but also not as high as Muse. Muse had an incredibly long bottom of the second inning, with multiple very long at-bats. Nearly 30 pitches that inning alone. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second. It's batted behind, so Ujima gets to second safely on the strikeout. Third strikeout of the night for Ciampa. Because it was a relatively close play, Ujima wasn't able to keep going and try to turn 3. Runner on second now with 2 away. Here's the first pitch from Ciampa. Strike 1 right down the middle. Simmons up here. He flew out previously. And strike 2 as he just whiffed on that one. Ciampa looking to complete a 3rd clean inning. That one fouled away. .67, and things will probably keep dropping. Temperature predicted to get potentially as low by the end of the game as 59. And strike three. Good framing that time by Berube, and the side is retired. Nothing on one hit and one stranded. Bottom of the third, right after this. Bottom of the third inning is underway. Lobliner leads off. Next time, here's the first pitch. Strike one. Here's the 0-1. That one's going to be lined to center, but Carl is under it for the first out of the inning. Phelps up now. That one's going to be lined down the left field line. Base hit. Phelps is going to be able to turn two. Simmons onto it, but not in time. Phelps with a stand-up double with one away. Phelps saw the first pitch he liked and took it deep to left field. Odom up with one on and one out. Odom up now. One on, one out. 1-0 lead for the Pioneers. That one's lined right to the pitcher, but Moo's able to get it and throw it to first. Runner advances, but not before that second out. Olszewski comes up again, flew out previously, and has been in a little bit of a hitting slump. Putting balls in play, but sometimes just struggling to convert those into hits. I know Andrew Drum would love for him to try to come away with an RBI right here. Strike one, that breaker landing just on that inside corner. Runner on third, 2 away. Two outs here. Here's the 0-1 to Wolsofsky. Wolsofsky lines that hard down the right field line, but foul. 0-2. Just outside, ball 1. News 1 strike away from getting through a very quick inning here. After the previous inning had gone very long, it would be a good recovery inning right here. Ball 2. That breaking ball just landing inside. He wanted that front door pitch there, but the door was locked. 2-2. Fouled away. Wolsofsky forcing a longer at bat here. No one warming up yet for the Power. They're definitely trusting moves for a little bit longer. That pitch count could start to play a factor eventually, but for now he still should be pretty much A-okay. 2-2. Fouled away. Two again. And ball 3 just a bit inside. So again, another pretty long at-bat. Wolsofsky trying to keep that inning alive. Ethan Herrera potentially on deck. That one popped up by Wolsofsky. Should end the inning. Eels makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs on one hit, no errors, 1 left the board. We'll be back right after this. We are back here at Dunn Field, but for now, enjoy the final round of musical chairs. Oh, brutal. A hilarious finish to musical chairs. And the game is just about ready to resume. That's the final warm-up pitch. We are back at historic Dunn Field, 1-0 lead for the Pios. Top of the fourth inning, ready to go. Ciampa's still on the mound. Leading off for the Power is Lobliner. For the season, Lobliner hitting 158, 3 for 19, but notably with 6 RBIs. You know where those came from? The majority of those RBIs, at least, and hits, came against the Pioneers in the first game that these two played. Here's the 1-0. That one's going to be lined to Olsavsky. Picks it up, gets the throw to Wayman. That's out number 1. And Olsavsky has been a strong defensive presence all season for the Pioneers. Coolly and calmly making those ground ball outs. Simeon ready, 1 away, top of the fourth. And ball 1 just a little high. Simeon got on base via walk and got 2 stolen bases in that next series of at-bats. He's now ahead 2-0. And for the season, that was the 3rd walk for Simeon, but also the first 2 stolen bases he's had. That one's going to be grounded shallowy to Wayman. He's going to flip that over to Ciampa, and Ciampa didn't get his foot on the bag. And a disappointing play. Maybe you call that an error on Ciampa. I don't know. But a very close play at the bag. Ciampa just not able to get possession of the ball in time. It will be graded as a single for Simeon. Montanez comes up here with a runner on and 1 out. What has helped the Pioneers is the fact that Ciampa's been able to keep getting those first outs. Now Coach Drum is just asking for some clarification. I think he just missed the bag on getting that ball right there. But understandably, Drum just wants to talk that over really quickly. Drum has mentioned that within the first 7 games, the Pioneers have gelled really well as a team, becoming almost a family. Very good vibes in the locker room as the team continues their perfect game collegiate league season. Runner goes, throw, not in time as that one hits right off the kneecap of Simeon. And I wonder if that will prevent him from trying to steal third a bit later. Count now 0-1. Good throw, but just a little bit late. A good jump one more time from Simeon. Wonder if he's going to try to go 3 here. Stays at 2. Ball 1 just a little bit high. Ciampa's had a solid job right now coming in. Does have a runner on second with only 1 out, but he's again kept it pretty quiet, and he does have that 1-run little buffer. That is outside 2-1. Thank you to the Mets Candy Company, this inning's sponsor. That one popped square up. This time Berube. Now actually coming it in is Shader. And Shader's screaming mine to get that ball. But that's useful as that can be a little bit of a scramble. That can be incredibly hard to tell who's going to get it. So Shader heads up play to get loud and get the catch. 2 away now for Colbert, who got on base with a walk previously. Ciampa looking. Here's the first pitch. Strike 1. Entering the game, Colbert with a 2.50 average. He's 1 for 4, not counting his walks. Ciampa gets a sign. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ciampa has gotten at least 1 strikeout in each inning. Currently is 4 on the day. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Even though Ciampa has let a couple runners on from time to time, he's been getting first outs, which has put him in better positions later in innings, even if he sometimes conceded 1 or 2 other runners. Here's the 1-2 now. Tipped away. One, two, 2 out. Ball 2, barely just a little inside. Two. And strike 3. Colbert goes down looking, so 1 run gets aboard on 1 hit, but gets stranded. A 4th clean inning for Ciampa. Score remains a 1-0 lead for the Pios, entering the bottom of the 4th inning. Ethan Herrera leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Pioneers. Thank you to Vasco Brands, this half inning's sponsor. They're the one-stop shop for all your janitorial needs. And if you do ever get their products, just make sure you tell them the Pioneers sent you. Thank you again to Vasco Brand. Count goes 1-0 now. It's Ethan Herrera. Herrera's found more success in the field and on defense while going two-way. That one's low, ball 2. Rounded out in his first at-bat, looking for a recovery at-bat here. Fouled, 2-1. Beautiful Saturday night here in Elmira. Sunday night might be a little bit rainier as the Pioneers travel to Jamestown, New York to face off against the Tarp Skunks again. Tarp Skunks got the better of the Pioneers in the first game of their series. Pioneers will want to get revenge. Looking to get revenge as well tonight against the Power. And after that game against the Tarp Skunks, they'll have a Monday off before another game on Tuesday. Here's the 3-1. And that is ball 4. Herrera gets on with a walk. First walk of the game for the Pioneers. Closest thing to that was a free base that Cooper Smith got off a hit by pitch. No one out now, a runner on. And so far, apart from the first inning and third innings, the Pioneers have been able to go 2 for 4 with getting lead runners on. A friend of mine, Jack Ike, mentions that the probability that the lead runner will get on, or at least the joke goes somehow of what's the probability that the lead runner is the runner, it's 1 of 9. Anyway, 0-1 count here. Bobby Marsh flew out last time. He had 6 home runs as a Pioneer last season. One and one. And it was funny. Marsh's game that he didn't play was against the Outlaws in that win. And before we could even joke that Marsh was the thing causing this team to lose, Marsh came out with a good day as the Pioneers took a win against the Newark Pilots. Count goes 1-2 now. Marsh hoping to stay alive. On deck is a Pioneer with one of the 2 hits, Frank Wayman. One-two to Marsh. Marsh rips that down the line and right. It is fair. Stays on the line. Runner's going to go home. The relay throw to the plate. He can't get the tag in time. It is a 2-0 lead, and Bobby Marsh, an RBI double. But down at the plate is the Pioneer runner. He had a rough slide. Hopefully Ethan Herrera's okay. He had a collision there with Lobliner. Kennedy, the team trainer, out checking on Herrera, and looks like Herrera's good. I think that probably just knocked the wind out of him for a second, but he's home and safe, and all okay, which is the most important thing. It's an RBI double for Bobby Marsh. 2-0 lead for your Elmira Pioneers. Runner on second for Frank Wayman. No one out. I don't think Coach Drum will look for a sacrifice here, but it would help get a runner to third. And you do have Cooper Smith on deck. Outside ball 1. Good take from Wayman. Marsh has helped the Pioneers take a 2-0 lead. Now it's Wayman's chance to try to keep that lead growing. That one's flared foul, even though Colbert and Lobliner give chase. That one's just going off roof. Coleman had a throw into Eels, who had a close play to Lobliner, but Lobliner had facing the wrong direction. He had to face the wrong direction to get the ball. He wasn't able to make the tag in time for Herrera, who scored all the way from first. 1-1 now. to Wayman. Strike 2. That breaker landing in the zone. Wayman scored the first run of the game for the Pioneers after he opened the second inning with a double. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Wayman goes down and strikes. One away, runner on second. One out for Cooper Smith. That's Mew's third strikeout of the game and season. His first 2 came back in the second inning, getting Shader and Berube down in a row. Cooper Smith up here. 8:27 p.m., not too long from sunset. Smith brings that to left field. That'll score Marsh and potentially extra bases for Smith. Sinden's throw in left won't be in time. It's an RBI double for Cooper Smith. The offense continues for the Pioneers. They now take a 3-0 lead against the Niagara Power. As Coach Drum said, and what's written over in the locker room, the famous Major League quote, you get 1 win, that's 1 win. You get 2 wins, that's 2 wins. You get 3 wins, that's a streak. And 3 runs is now the lead for the Pios as they inch ever closer to getting that run of form into even greener pastures. 1-0 count now for Logan Shader. Two-0. Don't see anyone warming up in the pen yet. Moo still having the trust here from the Power. That one popped up. Players scrambling for it. Lobliner gets it. Wayman, as no one was at third, almost started going, but ultimately there is some reaction to get a player to third. I believe that was Ujima. So it'll be 2 outs with a runner on second. 2 runs coming home for the Pios this inning. So already a successful inning. Lucas Berube comes up. 0 for 1 today. But in the previous game he played, he had a huge day, getting an RBI to help give the Pioneers a 2-1 win. He was one of the only hitters for the Pioneers that day in what was a pretty impressive pitching duel. He flares that foul, strike 1. And actually, it was Smith on second, not Wayman. Wayman had struck out. The 0-1. Flared foul again. 0-2. Who's a chance to get out of the inning. But damage already done from the Pios. They'll gladly take the 2 runs they've got so far. Third one would just be a cherry on top. That one's going to be grounded shallowly to short. Picked up by Ujima. The throw is in time. And the inning is over. In total, 2 runs come home on 2 hits. No errors. 1 left stranded. We'll be back with the 5th inning right after this. And we are back at the top of the 5th inning here at Dunn Field. I'm Taylor Storthy, and you're watching Pioneers Baseball. Cooper Smith and Bobby Marsh proved to be the two players needed to jump-start the Pios offense. They both were able to get RBI doubles and give the Pios a 3-0 lead. Carl leading off here for the Power. He's going to foul that one away, strike one. It's back to the top of the order. Ciampa, through 4 innings, has faced 18 hitters. Of course, the Power, instead of running with 10 in the extra hitter, they elect to run 9. That one's going to be lined to second, and a sliding play by Lucas Phelps. Phelps coming away with the first out of the inning on an impressive catch. That was a great play by Phelps to get out number 1, and Ciampa continues to get early outs, which has certainly helped his cause today. There's a bunt, but it's going to go foul as it bounced backward to Berube, 0-1. But Ciampa entered the game after a couple good relieving stints, including a save against the Outlaws. He brought him in Coach Drum brought him in because he felt he'd be a good option to get the save there, as he was already planning to have him start here against the Power. And that 1 inning, I don't think has given him any fatigue. If anything, I think it's helped him keep focused. He's had 5 strikeouts in the game, and has surrendered just 3 hits. Even though it is alongside 3 walks, the previous 2 innings, he didn't allow any free bases. 2-1. Just outside ball 3. That free base streak could come to an end at this at-bat. Eels up here. He flew out in his 2 previous ones, both to left field. Instead, he's just going to get on base via walk with 1 away for Ujima. Ujima this season, a pretty good hitter. His average has now improved a bit, 4-14 for his appearances, where he also got a stolen base. And that one, he went strike 1. Eels at first with Wayman. Wayman had picked up first base a little while back and has been playing there since for the previous 3 games, doing a solid job defensively. Runner goes. That one, strike 2, throw to second, won't be in time. Bouncing off Phelps' chest. Second stolen base of the game for Ujima, first of the game for Eels. It's Ujima at the plate. Double play possibility pretty much dead with 1 away. But a chance for a strikeout here with an 0-2 count. Now 1 in the dirt. Berube up quickly, 1-2. The Pioneers lead the Power 3-0. 1-2. And strike 3. That is strikeout number 6 for Ciampa. Doing a great job from the bump. 2 away in the top of the 5th. Arnett Health is this inning's sponsor, the official healthcare provider for your Elmira Pioneers. You can always trust them with medical needs, as health is what they do. 2 away, runner aboard. That's going to bring up Coleman, who got on base via walk and struck out. And strike 1. That lands on that outside corner. When it comes to umpiring tonight, it's been very 50-50. Hard to tell whether he's a little more biased inside or outside. Runner going for third, swing and a miss. Throw to third. He is safe, and a good play there by Shader to stay in front of the ball. Count goes 0-2 with 2 away. Eels' second steal of the inning here. And a good play by Shader to get the ball on that throw, as that can be very dangerous. It gets to the outfield, and we're looking at a 3-1 game. For those plays, I believe that if you're Odom, you should also definitely be running in. And ball one just a bit high. Ciampa 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Despite the runner on third, he just needs to force 1 out. Don't see a real shift for the hitters, playing in just the standard positions. You could argue that short is a little bit further to the right, closer to second. That one's going to be grounded very shallow. Shader picks it up, throws, not in time, and that also gets away from Wayman. So a very close play there. Not an error because he was definitely safe on that throw. It's an RBI single with 2 away for Coleman. Just lets it dribble on the ground to get the first run of the game for the Power. That's also the first earned run all season for Ciampa, but more of an unlucky one. It was a very weak grounder that just landed at the right spot to be hard to field. Runner on first, 2 away. That's going to bring up Simmons. Simmons fires it out, but it's foul and playable. Shader gets under it, and the side is retired. 1 run comes home on 1 hit, but that's all she wrote as a runner gets stranded. Bottom of the 5th inning, right after this, still a 3-1 lead for your Elmira Pioneers. I do apologize. That first pitch was taken very quickly. It's an 0-1 count to open the bottom of the 5th inning. Gil Murad leads off. He's already down 0-2. Oh, 2 now. Murad gets to that, but it's fouled backward. Murad flew out to center in his previous at-bat. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Murad goes down on strikes. And for Moose, that is his third strikeout. +1 to get 4 for the season. Third strikeout swinging, where he also has 1 strikeout looking. Phelps comes up after getting a double back in the third inning. He also made a good sliding play to make a catch previously. Swing and a miss of that one in the dirt, strike 1. Phelps keeping alive here, looking to get some offense going this inning for the Pios. Ball 1. Pios did a great job in their second game against the Power and currently hold a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th with a chance to try to expand it a little bit. The tough innings will be coming up, especially as Ciampa might begin to run out of steam as the count goes 1-2. One away. 1-2. And strike 3. Phelps goes down looking on a dirty breaking ball. Odom steps up now with 2 away. We already mentioned this earlier, of course, but Odom's brother would have also been a pioneer if he didn't get injured, which is a shame. Wish him the best in his recovery, and hopefully he can join his brother next year in Elmira. But for now, we still have Zach Odom here, bottom of the order, but playing really well over in left field. He's 0 for 1 today, but a chance to try to get on base here. 1-0 count. On deck is the still cold Olszewski. He's had a great season, especially defensively, but somewhat cold from the plate in recent games. That one's inside. Ball 2. Odom gets ahead. That one's going to be lined, gets past Colbert at third, and it is a 2-out single for Odom. Too shallow to try for 2, as Simmons was also on it. But Odom gets aboard for Olszewski. Olszewski with a pop-up and fly-out today. Looking to improve. And of course, if the Olszewski name is familiar, that's because his father used to play in the NFL. Well, he's got himself a hit. But it's not in play, it's by pitch. Doesn't matter though, he'll gladly take that free base. It was also an off-speed one that was an attempted front door breaking ball that just broke into Olszewski instead of the plate. 2-1 with 2 away. Ethan Herrera steps up again. Herrera, he scored previously on a Bobby Marsh RBI, and he had a bit of a rough slide into home plate. He was down for a few seconds, but he's back up and moving. He was playing in the field, and now back at the plate. Quick conference between the coach and Muse. We don't see anyone warming up yet, but that could change. Muse doing a good job trying to keep that damage at a minimum through the 5th inning. You do wonder how long the duel will go. You might imagine this could be potentially Muse's final inning. For Ciampa, he could have another left in the tank, but maybe not after that. Herrera pops it up, and that should end the inning. Making the catch over at second is Eels, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit, 2 left aboard. Pioneers still lead 3-1, entering the 6th inning. We'll be back after this. By the way, I just saw this comment during the break. Currently, Muse is still on the mound for the Power, number 24. He started the game and has been on since. He likely is going to probably get another appearance in the 6th inning. We don't see anyone warming up in the bullpen yet. So far, he's surrendered 3 earned on 5 hits. But overall, pretty solid day and a solid start. I think he'll be able to finish up a quality start. And currently on the mound as well, again for the Pioneers, Tristian Ciampa, as he begins a 6th inning of work. Lobliner leading off here for the top of the 6th inning. First Transit is this inning's sponsor. Thank you, First Transit, for being a huge sponsor for the Pioneers. That one's driven deep to left, but getting right under it is Odom. 1 away. So Lobliner 0 for 3 today, but he's put the ball in play every single time, so you can't be too disappointed with that performance. 1 out, top of the 6th. Simeon comes up now. 1 for 1 with a walk. He's also been pretty alert on the paths with 3 stolen bases. Yet, he wasn't able to come home. That one's fouled away, strike 1. Now, I want to also let you know about a trend. Since the start of the game, Ciampa has been able to get every single leadoff batter out. He did it back in the first with a strikeout. Lobliner went out in the second with a flyout. Eels was out with a flyout. Lobliner out with a ground out. Carl was out with a line out. And Lobliner, who has actually led off 3 times in each of his at-bats, was out with another flyout. So he's 6 for 6 in getting the leadoff batters down with outs. He's been very good at getting those early outs, which is something that Coach Drum and Wildman said that they want their pitchers to do, and Ciampa's been doing that perfectly. Because he's always starting an inning with 1 out, even though we now see a 3-1 count, he's been able to put himself in a really good situation for the inning, as if there's a base runner, he opens up an immediate double play opportunity. There will be a double play opportunity here as Simeon gets aboard with the 2nd walk of the game. We do see someone warming up for the Pios, but Unless he's really getting tired, I don't think they'll remove Ciampa this inning. And again, also no serious reason to remove Ciampa. He's still looking really good there on the mound. 1 on, 1 out. Montanez up. I have a feeling that Simeon will probably try to go steal second again. The question is when. I don't think he'll go the first pitch. There's a pickoff attempt. Simeon's safe. I have a feeling we might see a few more pickoff attempts this at bat, just because we know how quick that Simeon is on the base path. Tipped away. That's the classic checkup that goes foul. 0-1. 8:53 p.m. It's getting a little darker after the sunset, but still pretty light out. Lights, of course, shining on the field. Nice night here at historic Dunn Field. Final game here up until next Tuesday, where Mansfield will take on the Pioneers. And that one's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Simeon doesn't go. I have a feeling he might go on this next pitch, though. I wonder if we might see a pickoff there. 1 away, 0-2 count, top of the 6th. Runner goes. Strike 3 looking, throw into second is in time, but they're not going to say he got the tag off. I think that's the wrong call. He had the glove in the right spot, and I think he got it. I think that's the wrong call. It's the 4th stolen base for Simeon. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Drum wanted to go out and contest that. I certainly would. Looking from this view, it certainly looked like an easy out. But Simeon gets to second. There's 2 away after that strikeout looking, and another strikeout for Ciampa, who's continued to have a really good start today. After Braden Coletta had a great outing, he's gone and done the same. And with that, it's 7 strikeouts in 6 innings for Ciampa. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 more strike, and he gets out of the inning. And he's facing off against Colbert, who's 0 for 1 with a walk previously. I bet Simeon's going to run on this pitch. 0-2. That one fouls it off himself. Ouch. That'll definitely sting as it went from his bat to his leg. Those always hurt, but he keeps alive in the at-bat. 0-2 now. And the umpire asks for some balls. Clubhouse manager Ben Efros gives them. Of course, earlier, if you had watched it, Ben Efros won an eating challenge against one of the pitchers from the Niagara Power, keeping his undefeated streak alive. In those competitions, as it was broadcasted over the PA. He's always a great help around the clubhouse, and also fixing and tidying up the field. 0-2 count with 2 away. And swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning, and Colbert goes down swinging to end the inning. That time, it's 1 runner stranded on no runs, no hits, and no errors. Clean inning for Ciampa. He's through 6. Entering the bottom half, it's still a 3-1 Pioneers lead. We are back at historic Dunn Field, bottom of the 6th, and Muse still is on the mound for the Power. He's entering his 6th inning of play. His first batter is going to be the always terrifying Bobby Marsh. Marsh's power and consistent bat was missed against the Outlaws despite the win. And I think fans were ecstatic to see it back last night against the Newark Pilots. And oof, that one's called strike one. Fell a little bit outside, but broke just into that corner. Now you might see that Texas Roadhouse sign not just on our screen, but in right field. Well, if someone hit that sign, everyone at Dunn Field gets a free appetizer from Texas Roadhouse. And that one called strike two, and oof, that one... if there was some debate on the first one, I don't think there was debate on the second one. This count really should be 1-1 at worst. But you know what? They don't pay me to be an umpire. I'm a commentator. Here's the 0-2 to Bobby Marsh. Bobby Marsh grounds that up the middle. That's fielded at second. The throw to first is made, and going into a split to make the grab is Simeon, and that's the first out of the inning. Yields a tough grab there up the middle. And is an even tougher grab for Simeon. We've seen him stretch out for a few of those plays. And a good job by him to keep his foot on the bag there. One out already as Wayman steps back up. And again, thank you Texas Roadhouse for being a sponsor. Still haven't seen anyone get close to that sign in the outfield as the count goes 1-0. If March's double was probably 20, 30 feet to the left, it could have hit that sign, but it didn't. Wayman's going to line that up the middle. Will it get down in no man's land? No, backing up is Ujima to get the second out of the inning. Cooper Smith now up with 2 away. On the day, Smith, 1 for 2. He got on base via hit by pitch and had an RBI double that brought Bobby Marsh home. Outside, ball 1. Now, fun fact, last night after the game, Cooper Smith got a care package from his parents, including some cookies. He shared one with Max Mandler in the locker room, and they were the talk of the locker room for a minute. Smith lines that up the middle, and he gets a second hit of the game. He is now 2 for 2. He's going to stay at first. Logan Shader comes up with 1 on and 2 away. A chance for the Pios to extend that lead late in the 6th inning. We finally see some stretching over in the bullpen for the Power, but Moose will definitely be able to finish a quality start here. And as there is more active warm-up in the Pioneers bullpen, you do wonder whether Ciampa's day might be done this inning or next. Throwback to first. The pickoff attempt gets to the outfield. Smith is going to get to second. He's just going to be told to stay there, though. An errant pickoff gets Cooper to second. First error of the game for either team. And now there's a runner on second after that ball. 1-0 count to Logan Shader. Today, Shader's 0 for 2 with a pop-out and strikeout. Runner now in scoring position. But still just 2 outs for Moose. Tipped away at 1-1. Cooper Smith has just 1 stolen base all season, and he was actually stealing and got caught stealing in a technicality back when the Pioneers got their first run. And they're actually giving a balk. An error on Muse. Gets Cooper Smith to third. I think Moose has just been a little bit too worried about Smith on the base path, and that now gives him a balk. Smith at third. Here's the 1-1. Outside, ball 2. And similar to the previous game against the Outlaws, Smith single, and he gets to third off an error. Although against the Outlaws, he didn't do it off a walk. He actually got 2 bases off the errant throw. Swing and a miss there, 2-2. 2-2? We were keeping track. Thought it was only 2 strikes. Either way, that is strike 3. The inning is over, I guess. Huh. Weird. I wonder if that is one of those classic, count ended too early type incidents. John Boyce, sports YouTuber from SB Nation, made a great video alongside colleague Alex Rubenstein detailing moments this has happened in MLB history. We might have seen one of them right here. But either way, 1 runner stranded on 1 hit, 1 error, no runs. That's the 6th inning. We'll be back with inning number 7 right after this. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball. Nick Reiser comes in relief to finish Tristian Ciampa's day. Ciampa completed 6 innings of 4-hit, 1-run ball. He conceded 5 walks, but got 7 strikeouts. In the end, he faced a total of 27 batters, as the top of the order is back up for the Power. The 1 run that came home did come home off a free base, but with a 3-1 lead, that shouldn't disappoint Drum too much. A nearly perfect day, you could argue, from Ciampa otherwise. Reiser back in the game. Reiser pitched 3 innings against the Outlaws to record an important first win of the season. Quoting some of the success, he thanked his defense, saying that they did the work, getting the outs, and helping him out of 2 bases-loaded jams in back-to-back innings. In the 7th, he had bases loaded with 1 out. In the 8th, bases loaded with none. And he retired both without surrendering a run. Clarion Inn is the sponsor, is the choice hotel for your Elmira Pioneers for the 7th inning. Thank you to Clarion Inn. Reiser with the pitch right here. That one's a line drive. It's going to get past Phelps at second, and that'll be an opening hit. Carl gets his first of the game. He improves to 1 for 4. Eels comes up with a runner aboard. And it's the first time in the game that a leadoff batter has gone aboard for the Power. Here's Eels. Eels looked for a sack, I think, but that's outside, ball 1. 1-0 count. That one fouled away. Strike 1. Runner doesn't go. Reaction from Berube keeps him at first. 2-1 count. Still a 3-1 lead for the Pioneers, but with the runner on, no one out, that's a little dangerous. Can Reiser clutch up and get out of this first inning? Throw back to first. Just trying to make sure Carl is true. That is 2-2, I believe. A very late strike call. It almost looked like it was going to be ball 3 at first. Herrera again still in right field. Had a tumble earlier, but he's all good. Strike 3. Or 2. So no, I was right. It was 3-1. It was 2. I got fooled by the scoreboard. Now it's a full count for Reiser. And ball 4. 2 runners get aboard to start. A long at-bat there. We are going to see Billy Wildman just come out and just try to ease Reiser's nerves a little bit. Just make sure he's still feeling all good. Don't see anyone warming up yet. Could eventually. But again, Coach Drum said Reiser's the type of pitcher that he wants to get as often as he can. Will likely be a long-standing reliever for the Pioneers this season. And a funny way in how he joined the team. While trying to recruit one of the older players he had, he learned that that player was done from baseball, at the very least for that summer or maybe even all time. But he got the contact from Reiser from him. And when he began his call with Reiser, the first thing Reiser said was, if this call goes well, I'm going to quit my job. And sure enough, Reiser's here in Elmira. He's got a little bit of a jam, but with no outs, Reiser's been able to work out of difficult situations before. Ujima now up. He's going to ground that down the third base line. It gets by his man. 1 run will likely score. 2 on, and now a 3-2 ball game. Took just a sharp bounce at third. That was just impossible for Shader to get. Went over him, and it slowed enough in the outfield that there was no chance for Odom, even if he was quick enough to make a play at the plate. Ujima improves to 3 for 4 with an RBI. Carl scoring all the way from second. Coleman up with 2 on. 1-0. And ball 2, that one's called a little high. That one flared out to right, picking up as Herrera, and making the catch for the first out of the inning. So after that sluggish start with a run coming home, Reiser finally gets his first out. 1 away, 2 on. Runner goes to third. It's a double steal attempt. However, Ruby not risking a throw to either third or second. Both runners will advance. And that's probably the safest thing to do in this situation. Count now 1-0. Niagara's offense coming up late here and chaining some good hits together against Reiser to bring that second run home. And now they've got a go-ahead run at second and a tying run at third. That one's flared to the right and foul, 1-1. Now in this situation, if there's a foul ball driven to the line, pretty deep in a hard-to-play territory, you'd actually think that as a fielder, unless it's an infield play, that you could get a throw home. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I think in that foul ball in this situation, you might as well just take it. Let it drop, because it would have brought the tying run home. Oh, and by the way, Nicholas Lowe, it was Holfaker who was in that eating competition. Even though he lost, he ultimately got a free donut, so you couldn't say he really lost. That one's foul. One, two. Trying to retire Simmons. Ball 2, just a little bit inside. Simmons stays live. Two. Ball 3 just outside, missing that corner. And we will let the crowd do the talking on this 3-2 pitch. 2 aboard, 1 away. And that is ball 4. Bases now loaded. Reiser again in a bases loaded jam. It's a high pressure at bat. Pios lead on the line with 1 away. Lobliner up here. He's 0 for 3 today, but has had some big offensive performances from against the Pios, including some base clearing hits. Now he's got bases loaded. First pitch, he's going to pop that one up, but it looks to be playable for Joel Sofsky. And a lot of stress being lifted. 2 away now. Bases loaded because it's impossible to tag up on a play like that. Simeon comes up with 2 outs. Tying runner third. Go-ahead runner second. And a runner at first that would give him a 2-run lead if the bases were cleared. Simeon 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Can he keep his on-base streak alive, or will Reiser get out of the jam? First pitch, swing and miss. Reiser being willed on by the Pios faithful here at Dunn Field. I have a feeling he probably will stay on for the 8th inning. No one warming up at the bullpen. And that one tipping weirdly. It's going to be called foul ball, strike 2. Now with this 0-2 count, we're going to let the fans do the talking here. With 2 away, bases loaded. Oh, 2. Foul ball. Phelps to Wayman, and the inning is over. 1 run scores on 2 hits, no errors. Bases are left loaded. The Pios still lead 3-2. Bottom of the 7th right after this. We are back at historic Dunn Field for the bottom of the 7th inning. And taking a look, there's not too many pitching options for the Niagara Power, but it looks like Nick Lowe is coming to the game. On the roster form, which is completely messed up, I'll tell you a little bit more about that after this first pitch. Lowe is listed as a left-hander. No, he's a righty. And he's got strike 1 right there. Berube leading off. Ball 1. I was going over the roster with a few of the players from Power, getting some pronunciations and things I need for the podcast or broadcast. 1-1. And of course, pronunciations are good because otherwise I would be saying Coburn as the way his name is actually spelled, which is a tiny bit more suggested. Still all good because it's his name, but would be a little bit embarrassing. That one's fouled away, strike 2. But notably, they were missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 players on that roster list were not part of the Niagara Power's team or at the very least on this road trip to Elmira. The count now 2-2, or 3-2. Hilliard, this inning's sponsor. They're also sponsoring Thunderstick Night on Tuesday. And Berube, with that one in the dirt, draws a walk. 0 for 2 entering that at bat. Gets aboard here. An interesting thing about Berube, that was a second free base he had. He had also a hit by pitch earlier in the season. 1 on, no one out. Gil Murad up now. He's 0 for 2. And ball 1. I wonder if they're going to want to put Gil Murad in a sacrifice situation here this season. Gil Murad is 0 for 8. And you add those two at bats, it's 0 for 10. But this time, that's going to be his first hit. Gets down in the gap. Not going to be picked up cleanly. Wildman holding runners at the corners. So an important time to get your first hit of the season. Gil Murad gets aboard with no one out in a 3-2 ball game. It's going to bring up Lucas Phelps with runners at the corners. So just like Reiser, Lowe conceding a couple early runners here. Reiser was able to recover and keep the damage at 1 run. Wonder how Lowe can keep the damage low here. Fouled away by Phelps. That's strike 1. Lowe has pitched 6 innings, actually the 4th most innings on the entirety of the Niagara Power. So the count goes 0-2 now. So he's been an arm that the team trusts from the bullpen. Darker sky out here in Elmira. Day is turned to night. 9:26 p.m. Still pretty warm up here in the booth. 0-2. And 1-2 now is Phelps with a good take right there. On deck after Phelps is Zachary Odom, who got on base with a single last time. Phelps had a double earlier in the game. 2 for 4 combined, these next two hitters. So, potentially scary situation. A chance to try to extend that lead with a runner on third. Ball 2, oof. That was close, and even though I am the Pioneers broadcaster, I thought that was very close to being a strike. That's the type of pitch that has been called as a strike most of the game. 2-2 now to Lucas Phelps. Obviously, that's a call that won't get any disagreement from Pios fans here. It's going to be grounded. Foul. Entering this game, Phelps didn't have a single hit this season, but now he got his first one. And it's always good to get the first hit off your back. It allows you to focus and try to keep getting offense going. That was a situation Berube was in. He's had another quieter night here, but now he finds himself the walk in. Ooh, Phelps gets tagged. And now the bases are loaded. Odom comes aboard with the bases loaded. No one out, and there will now be a conference on the mound. I think just to try to check on Lowe and settle him down and give him some assurance. No one warming up in the bullpen. He's not being taken out. But another slow start. Lowe will need to work his way out of this jam, while Odom, Olsovsky, and Herrera do up. Need to try to break through. There is a little bit of solace, though. The trio combined, apart from 2 free bases, are 1 for 5. That man with a hit Odom, who got it off his last at-bat. It was a single. The infield all the way in here. True double play or even bunt depth. As that one's going to be popped to center field. No, it's going to land in the infield, out number 1. Looked like that had more distance on it than it actually did. One away for Joe Olsavsky, and he had a hit last time, but that was literally by pitch. 1 out. Bases loaded. Again, Hilliard, not just a big sponsor, they're also sponsoring Thunderstick Night on Tuesday, so make sure you stop by Dunn Field if you're able to, and come visit. We'll let the crowd do the talking for Joe Olsavsky's at bat. And 2 immediate outs there with the bases loaded. Olsavsky popping out of play to the first baseman. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Zimian gets under it. Ethan Herrera comes up, 0 for 2 today, 2 away. Up to this point, 5 left on base for the Pioneers. They don't want to have that number jump to 8. Here's the first pitch to Ethan Herrera. Oh, whoops, Charnetsky comes aboard. He's a pinch hitter. Ball 1 outside. That one, ball 2. Charnetsky working ahead in the count. He's replaced Ethan Herrera. Ball 3. Charnetsky, a really dangerous count. And you 100% are calling take all the way. Let Lowe try to walk in a run. Charnetsky, he's 0 for 2, but he's gotten on base 5 times thanks to 5 walks. Strike 1 that time. So even though he doesn't have a hit, he's a guy that gets on base, works long counts. And that is incredibly useful here as he's already gotten ahead 3-1. And that one is ball 4. A run comes home on a Charnetsky walk. He does the job as a pinch hitter, keeping the inning alive. And now, coming up to the plate, Bobby Marsh. Don't you know, pump it up blaring here at Dunn Field as Bobby Marsh now inherits bases loaded, and you could say that he might be due for another hit. He's hitting well, 1 for 3, had an RBI double in his previous at-bat. Bottom of the 7th, 2 away for Bobby Marsh. Ball 1. The Pios can take a breath here because Charnetsky drew that walk to get a run home. That'll certainly help them out. That one's ball 2. And the Power, despite not having as large of a roster, including here in Elmira, doing really well this season. Here's a pitch from Lowe. High, ball 3. Marsh ahead in the count again. I'd give it to the crowd here, but it's a 3-0 count, so it's going to be an obvious take from Marsh. And you do wonder if Marsh can get aboard with a walk. He does. It's a 5-2 ball game for the Elmira Pioneers. And it comes on 4 straight pitches. Frank Wayman comes up with the bases loaded. Still 2 outs. And that lead has grown to 3. They regained the 3-1 lead that had chipped away over time with the only run surrendered from Ciampa's great start and the 1 run that was changed quickly against Reiser. Wayman ready to go. The lefty already 1 for 3 with a double. Strike one this time, called an outside corner. And finally, Lowe was able to get ahead. 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. We'll give it to the fans this time. 0-2 count for Frank Wayman with 2 away. Foul. We go again with the 0-2. Two now to Frank Wayman. There it is. Swing and a drive. Deep left, right field. Going back, off the wall. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. 3rd run coming home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Stand up triple by Frank Wayman. Pios lead 8-2. Frank Wayman coming in clutch with the bases loaded. A bases clearing triple. The Pios take an 8-2 lead. Marsh scores, Charnetsky scores, and Phelps scores. The Pioneers almost ready to clinch a victory of revenge against the Power. Let's hear the fans. And with that, there will be a pitching change. Lowe's day done after 2/3 of an inning. Disappointment here for Lowe. And just unlucky. It was just a very well hit ball there from Wayman. That breaks into the gap to bring those runs home. Still awaiting who's on the mound. Now we're thinking it could be Jimian, number 26. It is. Jimian is going to be on the mound. We are trying to see. It looks like Simmons might have gone to first. Yes, indeed. Simmons on first, and we don't know who's in that outfield position. But Jimian now on the mound. He gets ahead of Smith here, the 0-1. And the dirt, ball 1. Strike 2 to Cooper Smith. Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt, ball 2. Simeon, he's pitched 1 inning all season, so he can definitely go the 2-way. That one's going to be ball 3, just a little inside. Smith stays alive. And swing and a miss. Smith goes down swinging, but honestly, I don't think that'll dampen the mood at all here in Elmira, because the Pioneers score 5 runs on 2 hits, no errors, with only 1 left aboard. An 8-2 lead entering the 8th inning. We'll be back right after this. We're back at historic Dunn Field. Frank Wayman with a huge at-bat that propelled the Pioneers to an 8-2 lead. And we've got a pinch hitter in. Nick DiCarlo comes in to replace Montanez. And I have a feeling that he might have headed to left field with a new player at DH. 1-1 count now from Reiser. He's pitching very quickly. We'll update the count in just a second. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Reiser getting ahead quickly, looking to get a first out right here. Montanez was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Both of them looking. Charnetsky remains in right, replacing Herrera. That one's ball 2. Two-two. Have a feeling that someone could eventually come in the bullpen if they just wanted to run Reiser 2 innings. He had a pretty lengthy 7th inning, which he did concede 1 run from. But apart from that, he was able to get out of a jam again. I think that's a really good trait to have as a pitcher, being able to keep calm, keep focused, and retire difficult situations. Here's the 2-2. That one popped backward, and that's another souvenir for the roof. I think that all the pressure lifted off of Reiser's shoulders as the offense gave him some support in the bottom half of the 7th. Two-two. That one getting away from Berube. 3-2. Now as a whole entering this game, Reiser had 1 earned run, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and of course, that big win. His ERA will take a little hit, but still, 2 earned from 7 innings is still a really impressive total, and that'll keep you around a sub-3 ERA. Looking to improve that here, 3-2. And ball 4. Leadoff gets aboard again for the Power. This time being DeCarlo. Number 21 comes up here by the name of Colbert. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, one of them swinging, one of them looking. That one driven deep right, but foul. And, whew, lucky, didn't hit one of the cars. And always something to watch out for. You don't want to, hit a car with a foul ball. That is a possibility with how the parking is at Dunn Field. 0-1 with a runner aboard. Ball 1. That one fouled away again. 1-2. Both ball boys are running to it. As I believe one of the on-deck batters, and of course our clubhouse manager, Ben Frost. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that is another strikeout for Reiser on the season. That's his first today. Top of the order is back up by the name of Carl. He had a single back in the 7th. And he scored as the Niagara's second run. Strike 1. And that one, ooh. That bat headed right to the crowd, but thankfully the crowd's okay. 0-2. Oof, that is dangerous. Always remember, kids, you gotta keep hold of your bat when you're swinging, or else you probably aren't going to hit the ball. 0-2 count here, Reiser with 1 away, about to get out number 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in a row for Reiser, and now he has Eels with 2 away. Ball 1. 2. Eels getting ahead here. He's drawn 2 walks today, and he scored once. He's going to line that down the line. That's a base hit. Charnetsky gets in and right. He's going to throw it in, but that'll just help keep the runner at third. Runners at the corners, 2 away Another tricky jam, but Riser now has a pretty nice 6-run gap to work with. And with 2 outs, he just needs 1 to get out of the inning. Do you see someone warming up in the pen? I have a feeling he'll come in just to secure the game in the 9th inning. With that, he'll single. Ujima comes up with 2 outs. Runner goes, but instead, Ruby just holding on to it, not risking a throw. That's the 4th stolen base of the game for Eels, looking like prime Ricky Henderson. Ujima up. He's 3 for 4, and he had an RBI single for the 2nd run back in the 7th. He has a chance to try to get another run past Riser. Might not be anything more than consolation, but again, the Pioneers chained 5 runs together. That one's going to be grounded to 3rd. They get the force out at 1st to end the inning. Two runners get aboard on 1 hit, but both are stranded. We enter the bottom of the 8th right after this. And remember, Hilliard Thunderstick Night is tomorrow night. Sorry, Tuesday. Tomorrow, the Pios head back on the road. Shader leading off this inning. That's going to be ball 1. That one's grounded very shallow to 1st. No real difficulty for Simmons to get the 1st out of the inning. Potentially the last time the Pioneers will be up at the bat today. They're on the road to Jamestown tomorrow to get some revenge against the Tarp Skunks, who defeated the Pioneers at home last time. Grounded to 2nd, and that is the 2nd out of the inning. Strong fielding this time, and Jimmy enforcing some quick outs. That one's going to be popped up and caught for the final out of the inning. So 3 very quick at-bats, ultimately leading to a quick inning top of the ninth up next. We'll be back with more Pirates baseball after this. We're back at historic Dunn Field. Mason Smith coming in from the bullpen for this ninth inning. Low leverage inning as the Pioneers do lead by 6. So far, Smith has pitched in 3 innings in 2 games, surrendering just 3 earned alongside 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 4 hits. They just need him to keep it relatively clean for the Pios to walk away with a revenge win and rematch. Smith ready to go, top of the ninth inning. One 0. Ball 2, just a little bit inside. Leading off is Coleman, who's 1 for 3. 3-0 start for Coleman. Smith just needs to settle down and just get locked in. As again, he's got a 6-run lead. All he needs to do is pitch for strikes and contact. There's 3-1. Tipped away, strike 2. With a full count, we'll let you hear Dunn Field and the fans hyping up this full count pitch. Ball 4. And with that, Coleman gets aboard to start the ninth inning. An 8-2 lead is pretty secure, but that can change should some offense get chained together. The Pios did score 5 runs previously. That one's going to be grounded to third. Gets by Shader on a diving effort. 2 aboard, no one out. And it's a shame, too. It just was a little bit too hard for Shader to get. Otherwise, that potentially could have been a double play. It was definitely in the range of that. Instead, it's going to be a single for Simmons. And again, you got to trust the defense. If singles like that happen, singles like that happen. Lob liner up, 2 runners on. Fouled away, strike 1. Oh, 1. 2 aboard. That one's going to be lined up the middle. Smith gets it on a hop. Throw-in will get the bases loaded. That was just a perfect line drive. Bases loaded. But still, 2 more batters separate what would be a tying run and the plate. Simeon comes aboard here, I believe. Yes, it is. Simeon, of course, switching from first base to the mound back in the 7th. And a very quick 8th inning. Now has a chance at bases loaded to help his cause here in the 9th. Ball 1. I do wonder if someone will warm up in the Pioneers bullpen. In fact, someone is going, and that will be, I think, just as an emergency, just in case. Ball 2. And again, you just need 3 outs, but you need to try to get that first out. 2-0 count. Strike 1 there. Smith able to get back into that count. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Smith away from a potential first strikeout of the game, which would be huge to try to help him get the final outs. We're going to go mute right here, the 2-2. Shader's slipping on the dirt by the mud patch. And I've been down to the warning track. That isn't as very packed as you'd think. You can definitely slip and slide while trying to make a running play. Great effort from Shader, but just a little bit short. We'll give it to the crowd one more time right after this. Umpire calls time. That one's going to be sent to right field. That will bring a run home. The throw in, and it won't actually. Great play there. Not only get the catch by Odom, but thanks to that fly out, there's out number 1. And run is stranded at third still. 2 outs to go. Last chance saloon. Almost ready to close its doors for the Power. Power looking to avoid going 500. Pios, 1 more win away from a streak. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 right there. A big whiff. Two-one. Ball 3, just a bit high. Three, 2. We got a full count pitch. Let's kick it over to Dunn Field again. Bases loaded, full count, top of the 9th. DeCarlo goes down swinging. 2 outs, top of the 9th. 1 more to go for the 3rd victory in the row for your Pioneers. And now we'll have a mute at bat for this potential final out right here. Colbert is up 0 for 3 with a walk. And that's the game. The Pios win 8-2. A revenge game against the Power. The Pioneers take the prize. Mason Smith pitches 1 clean inning. Nick Reeser surrendered 1 run, but had 2 solid innings. But the win goes to Tristian Ciampa. 7 strikeouts on just 4 hits. 5 walks, but only 1 of them came home to score on an impressive 6-inning outing. The loss will ultimately go to the starting pitcher, Moose, for the Power, who surrendered 3 runs in 6 innings. Overall, it's a solid day for a lot of Pioneers. The final line score, 2 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for the Power, 8 runs on 8 hits, and a completely error-free game for your Elmira Pioneers. And arguably, the best hitter, you'd have to say today, Frank Wayman. A double where he scored, and a clutch bases-clearing stand-up triple in the bottom of the 7th. That was huge and ultimately confirming a victory for your Elmira Pioneers. Tomorrow night, the Pioneers hit the road to Jamestown. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you then. I'm Taylor Storthy, and thank you for tuning in to this Pioneers broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow night, and hopefully on Tuesday. With Hilliard's free Thunderstick night, we'll see you in Elmira if you're around. Thanks again, and have a good night and safe travels if any of you are traveling.